Why hot dogs? Like, why that business?
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, my parents were in their late 20s.
Okay.
They were out of work. They were looking for a job in the newspaper, and they didn't find any employment, but they ran across an ad for a hot dog cart.
Okay.
And my mother said to my dad, look at this cart. Maybe, we ought to go into the hot dog business and rent a site somewhere. And who knows, people love hot dogs. People have to eat. Yeah. So why don't we do that? And my dad said, well, how much is the cart? And she said, $50. And my dad said, well, where are we going to get the $50? And my mother said her mother will loan him the money. And where's the cart? Well, the cart was about 2 miles away on La Cienega.
Okay.
And my parents found a site at La Brea and Melrose, which is where they're at right now, that was available for rent for $15 a month.
Wow.
And so my mother, actually, it was her that went down to La Cienega. She wheeled the cart about 2 miles.
Is that right?
All the way up Melrose, planted it right on that site, and it wasn't paved. It was just an open field with weeds. They chopped down all the weeds, and then they said, well, let's figure out how we're going to start the cart. Well, the cart was electric, and there was no electricity on the site. So it turned out that basically a block away, there was a hardware store. They went there, and they said, look, what do we do? And the guy said, I'll tell you what, I will sell you an extension cord. It probably need about 100 yards long, okay, from your cart to my outlet. And so he said, if you buy the extension cord, I'll let you use my juice here to fire up your hot dog cart. And that's how they fired up Pink's cart for the first 2 years, from 1939 to 1941, with an extension cord.
Wow.
Over an open field. And in 1941, the landlord raised their rent from $15 a month to $25. Okay. Well, you say, what's $25? Well, first of all, it's a 67% increase.
It is.
And my parents were just selling hot dogs at that time for 10 cents.
Sure.
So the dogs were 10 cents, Cokes were a nickel. All right? So the landlord raised the rent, and they said, we can't afford the rent.
Sure.
But fortunately, there was a Bank of America branch across the street, and they went over there, and they said, I think we can buy the property. And the guy said, well, how much do you need? And they said, I think we need about $4,000. And he asked my folks, do you have any collateral? And they said, we don't have any collateral. We don't own anything, but we have a really good hot dog. And he says, I know you have a hot dog. I eat lunch there every day. He says, well, I don't want you to move. Where am I going to eat lunch? So he actually took a risk and loaned them the $4,000 so that they could buy that property.
And the land right there on La Brea and Melrose.
On La Brea and Melrose.
Wow.
And that's where they were in that cart. They put a little awning over the cart to kind of celebrate the fact they now own the property. And that's the way it remained until 1946. And in 46, a cousin came along and he said, look, I want to go into the contracting business. I want to prove I can build something. I will build you a hot dog stand. And the hot dog stand that you see there today was actually built by our cousin in 1946.
That's the original.
And it hasn't changed much. We've just added more seating.
Wow.
But so it's authentic, it's original.